Welcome to Excellent Group Coaching, where we help you grow. Today we're going to be focusing on what your process should look like from start to finish, to the demo, to getting recs, to getting yeses, and all the incentives we put in place to help the process go smoothly, and people are excited about helping us get through the process. Hopefully you gain a lot of value from this and take a lot of notes that we can implement this into your business. Happen is they're going to be excited about telling their friends and family that they should check it out. So if you do a great demo, it leads to them being excited about getting excited about you seeing their friends and family. Okay, so that's step number one. Okay, step number two, as it says there, they like you. So make an effort to make a connection and a new friend on each appointment. I think we've been talking a lot about how to do that. And if you still have questions on that, then I would send you back to the onboard folder and listen to that section of connecting with customers on there. I think it starts at like 12 minutes and 30 seconds and it goes to about 25 minutes in the keys folder. If that's something you're still struggling with or you need some clarity, if you haven't listened to it in a while, I recommend you listen to it. It might hit home a little bit after you've done some appointments and had some experiences with people. So, but yeah, those are the two reasons why people will give you recommendations. So first and foremost, as far as beginning of the demo, you got to be thinking about, hey, what impression am I going to be making? What type of impression am I making? Because you are making an impression. They're judging every aspect of it, and they're thinking like, what is this all about? What is the experience going to be like? And they're looking for reasons not to recommend you to their friends and family. They're looking for reasons, potentially. I don't know. I don't think people are that cynical personally, but if that was the case, like my attitude is that, like I'm assuming that, and I want to make sure I make a great impression. So first thing, it says park on the street if possible, so you don't block anyone else from coming in or going. You know what I mean? You don't want to stop in the middle of the demo, have to move your car because you parked in someone's spot. So park on the street if possible, right? Offer to take your shoes off. Do you guys do that? I mean, if you're on a live demo, on virtual, it's a little bit weird. You can't be like, hey, you want me to take my shoes off? You know what I mean? But but yeah, offer to take your shoes off. If they point you to the living room, sit there while building rapport and then move to the kitchen. You know what I mean? So if they point you to the living room, don't be like, oh, we got to do the demo in the kitchen. No, go to the living room. You know what I mean? Like me personally, like there's like a psychology, there's a psychology study shown that if you if you go to different locations with a person, you feel more connected to them. And it was the real study was like if a guy goes bar hopping with a girl, like for example they meet a girl at one bar, they go to another bar and have a couple drinks, and they go to another bar and have a couple drinks, you feel like you're more connected to the person. That was a study. So in theory, in my mind was, how can I move to different parts of the home? You know what I mean? Like if they have a nice car, I want to go to the garage and look at it. You know what I mean? If they have a nice view in the back of their backyard, I'll be like, hey, by the way, you have a beautiful view back there. I'd love to, do you mind going out there real quick and just taking it in? I'm sure you guys take that in the morning. You mind if I go out there and take a look? You know what I mean? And they're like, yeah, sure, and then maybe they have a nice lake view, go out there and look at their lake and be like, man, this must be beautiful. Do you ever sit back here and just, read a book, have some morning coffee, whatever the case may be, and they'll go off on what they do back there and why they love it and why they picked this house and because of that spot, you know what I mean? Who knows what conversations come out of it? Can you, like I said, living room to the kitchen, you know what I mean? So maybe they have some pictures in one room that, of their family or whatever the case, and be asked to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw like a big family portrait at the front. Like, what was that about? Do you mind if we go take a look at that real quick? And they should be like, sure, get up and go. You know what I mean? Like, don't just be like so stringent, like do my appointment, you know what I mean? Be a robot, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's important. Accept the drink when offered. Obviously no alcohol, as it says there. Soda will make you burp. Water is best. Definitely use water. Make a good first impression. Like, think about it. What type of energy are you giving off? Like, whatever happens in your day up till that point, the last appointment could cancel or reschedule on you. They could have been the biggest a-hole on the phone, whatever. Like, your signature set you just sold canceled. Like, what energy are you giving off on this next one? And thinking about that, what type of energy, like you control the energy you bring into a room. So you got to be mindful of that. And you got to, whatever has happened, whatever has happened has happened. I can't control it. What I can control is the energy I bring right now. What happened 2 minutes ago is not going to matter a year from now, so I might as well get over it. And what's most important is what the energy I'm bringing right now. And the being caring and being thoughtful, and not thinking about myself. It's about the person that I'm about to meet and making a good connection, having a good time with this person. So being mindful of that every appointment. How does your breath smell? Obviously, don't eat garlic before your appointment, or onions, right? Do you look at least professional, casual, right? Or do you look like a bum? Don't look like a bum. Nice jeans and a button down, or whatever the case may be, but look clean. You know what I'm saying? Because think about, if you want to get referred to higher level people, they're gonna be like, man, if he came dressing up to my friend, my doctor friend, I don't know if he'd be fired up about seeing this person. You know what I mean? So, be the person you want to be referred to. You know what I mean? And look the part. Is everybody with me there on that? Does that make sense? I think it's bullet, and this is huge for Rex. Right? Take time to really connect. Really connect is underlined. So while building rapport, when they ask you a question about yourself, throw in there how you got started, right? For example, Mrs. Jones, I started, 2 months ago, and I actually started off with friends and family, people I knew, just to get started. And actually, they referred me to other people. Now I have more than 100 customers now, or now I have more than 20 customers now, and I have over 150 people that I've been introduced to. You know what the cool thing is? My customers are so great. I actually rely on my customers to keep me going, because the company doesn't give me names. Plus, I never want to call anyone out of the blue anyways. Matter of fact, I saw a lady the other day. She actually just shot her friends a text message just to give them a heads up about me, if it was okay if I gave them a call. Yeah, obviously she wanted to keep her friends, but it's also cool how many people were open to seeing me like you. Like as it says, tell a true story of your own. You all have sent text messages. You all have had customers give their friends a heads up. You have had people respond that says yes, they want to see you, and you have seen nice people. You know what I mean? So that's a real story for you. So tell them about that. Tell them about that in the beginning of the appointment. Like, the cool thing is, lady shot a text. You got a text message too, right? Yeah. That way, Mary kept her friend, and you weren't mad at Mary, right? She sent you a heads up, right? And you like the idea of helping me out, and here we are. So, it was cool. It's cool. It's cool to be able to do a cool job where I have the opportunity to meet people that are excited about helping me, and I get to meet a bunch of nice people that I can provide value to as well. So, not only with a great product, but who I am as a person. So, that's important. So, I'm gonna take a little time. So that's why it's important to really get to know people, and learn about them, and their how they grew up, and like what they value in relationships. Is have fun during the demo, right? Are you making your customers laugh, right? The more fun they have, the more they'll want their friends to meet you. So, tell jokes. I know jokes are dorky sometimes, but they'll laugh at the joke, or they're laughing at you for telling it such a bad joke. Either way, they're laughing, right? That's the goal, right? They could be laughing at you, or they could be laughing at the joke. Who cares? They're laughing. That's the goal, right? So I don't know if you guys have some cool jokes, but I'll share a couple corny ones of mine. For those that do actual live demos, something I used to do when I was a rep. Like, I did it for probably majority of my career when I did demos. I wanted to build the anticipation of Cutco. Like, it was like a big deal. Like, you had to build the anticipation of it, the exclusiveness of it, like, just the idea of Cutco. So what I used to do, when you take out Cutco for the first time, you hand them the petite carver, and you're going over the features and benefits, I wanted to make it a big deal. So I'd be like, all right, Mrs. Jones, do the whole junk knife stuff, and basically, it's not really good. So, are you ready to see Cutco? And they'll be like, yeah. I'm like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I don't think you're ready. This is a big deal. Like I said, Mrs. Jones, there's only 17 million customers that have Cutco. There's over 300 million people in America. Like, this is exclusive. So, I don't think you're ready. So here's what I'm going to have you do. All right, Mr. Jones, don't get mad at me. If Mr. Jones there, this is what I would say. Mr. Jones, don't get mad at me. All right? But I'm going to have you close your eyes. I'm going to put Cutco in your hand. I want you to tell me how the world's finest feels in your hand. And I'm like, so go like this. Go ahead and put your hand out. I want to put Cutco in your hand. And you tell me how it feels. Cool? And then she'll be like, okay. And I'm like, no peeking. She's like, all right, no peeking. And then I'll be like, I take it out, I polish it up. I'm looking at Mr. Jones and I'm polishing it up real nice, polishing up the handle, and then I'll be like, and I literally do that sound effect, and I'm like, go ahead and grab it. How does that feel? Okay, now you can open up your eyes. Now, how's the world spine still in your hand? She's like, ooh, well, that's pretty nice. Yeah, that's, I create that. Even if they were like even if they were the most like people, that would open them up somewhat. They're like, I'm not putting my hands over my eyes. All right, fine. Don't put your hands over your eyes, but can you close your eyes at least? All right, close your eyes. All right, cool. You know what I mean? Just have fun with them. You know what I mean? I would have fun with them in that way. Another corny joke I would use is with the spatula spreader. I'm sure you guys know the spatula spreader ones, right? You play the music, right? And you say, Mrs. Jones, do you know what note that is? And they're like, no. I'm like, it's B sharp. And they're like, because Kepka will always be sharp. Get it? You know what I mean? They'll laugh at that. Spatula spreader, I'll say it's the mirror, Mrs. Jones, so you can look good in the kitchen. Check your eyebrows out, make sure you're looking good. You know what I mean? You might do those cooking selfies. We never know. You know what I mean? You know how people are nowadays with Instagram, and they can laugh about that, right? Boost their confidence up a little bit. What else? What are the jokes? All right, tell jokes. All right, that's important. All right, because then it creates the funness of the appointment, right? So it's not like, oh, I have to sit there and listen to it. No, he's so funny. It's so entertaining. Like, you'll have a good time. Like, that's what you want them to say about you, right? Smile a lot, be friendly, cut up foods. It makes names and uses more fun. They'll like the proc more, so make sure you guys are cutting up food. Decorate your perspective. It's more interesting when they see your personal side, right? That's why we personalize our blue books and have our goals in there and put testimonials in there and all that stuff. Okay, does that make sense? So the more they enjoy their time with you, the more likely they'll think their friends will too. That's the whole point. The more they enjoy their time with you, the more likely they'll think their friends will too. Huge. Okay. Now, as far as the rec approach, all right, the setup to that, it's not the words. Although having them memorized is very important, and I'm going to share with you guys the rec approach on the bottom. We're going to make a little bit of adjustments, and we got to incorporate our incentive system in there, right? It's the music, right? The music is the eyes, the voice, and the body, and the face, right? Are you looking them in the eye, right? Are you having that soft voice, right? That soft, tender voice, like, hey, Mrs. Jones, this is actually the most important part. This is actually where you can actually help me out the most. You know what I mean? And like lean in. It's like, hey, this is it. You know what I mean? I was enthusiastic, having fun with the demo because that's awesome. But hey, let's get serious a little bit. And like, this is the most important part. Here's where you can actually help me out the most. Like, this is how I can continue to work towards my goals I was talking about before. Like, that's the type of, energy. So they're like, oh, what is it? You know what I mean? So that's important. Is everyone with me there on that? So be expectant, positive, and think they will say yes. Have positive body language, not shrinking in your chair. Don't be all excited and enthusiastic. And then right when it gets to Rex, like your whole demeanor, your whole vibe, your whole enthusiasm changes. Like, you don't want it to be like that. Like, whoa, why is he getting weird all of a sudden? You know what I mean? Like, it should be like, does that make sense? Oh, that makes sense. I think that makes sense. You guys are with me on that. So you don't want to have that weird, change of vibe. So that's important. Eye contact promotes sincerity and confidence. Listen to what they're saying and offer a solution, right? Like we talk about, right? Here's the thing: it's very rare, there'll be very few times where if you're connecting with them, you're setting the expectation for referrals when you're starting the demo, and you're sharing your goals. It's very rare that you'll have people give you objections, right? It's very rare that if you have a good time with them and you have fun on the appointment, that they're going to be like, I don't know, if I feel comfortable doing this, And, as you guys know all the different rebuttals, right? If Mrs. Jones, it's me, right? Did you enjoy our time together? I wasn't rude or pushy. I won't treat your friends that way, whether they get anything or not is irrelevant. The most important thing is they introduce me to more nice people like you. Whether they get on anything or not doesn't matter. If they might see me for an appointment, just jot them down. If they say no, it's okay. I'm seeing a ton. All my customers are introducing me to a ton of people. So if a couple people say no, it's okay. I just want a chance. I want an opportunity. If they say yes, great. If they say no, great. I just want to have the opportunity to meet more nice people like you, and I know you're way too nice to only know a few nice people. I know you know a ton of nice people. So, those are some of the things that you can obviously say to, handle that situation. But just having confidence and having conviction in who you are and what you do, and the experience you're going to create with people. So, next thing is it says don't hesitate right before you show price. Go right into the approach. So as you're transitioning, if you're doing the homemaker close, right before you drop the homemaker price, you want to be able to explain that. If you're doing the triple close, then you'll explain the 3 sets, and then you'll say the beautiful thing is it's not that much. Let me go ahead and write down the prices for you, and then you'll ask for X. So this is the most important part right here. So I wanted to dive in with this, make sure everyone's aligned with this right here. So asking for recs while working out the deals. So this is how the rec approach should look like, and this is how we want to be doing it starting now, moving forward. Because if you got 4 or 5 demos today, you incorporate it like this, watch what happens. It'll start to compound. You'll get the flow, you'll get the rhythm. By Saturday demos, you'll be on point with this, and we'll get a ton of numbers to set us up for Sunday phone jam. So that's the goal. That's why we're doing this, and we got to have a very keen attention to detail on executing our recs and our incentive programs. That's going to allow us to get a lot of phone numbers, a lot of yeses. That way we can hit our goals. So here's how it goes. So all right, perfect. I'm going to figure out the prices for your wish list. While I do that, just out of curiosity, you enjoyed the appointment so far? Great. I wasn't rude or pushy, was I? Awesome. Well, that's me handling the I feel uncomfortable, right? We're handling that before it comes up. You enjoyed it. I wasn't rude or pushy. So that's not going to be an issue when I get done asking for X. Does that make sense? So psychology is I'm handling that before it comes up. I don't want to have to say that at the end and feel like I'm combating them. At this point, they're going to be honest with me, and the vibe's not going to switch up because I handled it before it came up. You enjoyed it. I wasn't rude or pushy. Phenomenal. Well, there's actually one more very important part. Here's where you can actually help me out the most. I get paid every time I show and service customers Cutco. So if they have friends that own Cutco, that's what you want to say. So if they own Cutco, they don't need to see the presentation. They don't need to see it. You can go there and service their stuff, make sure they look good, make sure they're using it properly. You can touch them up, sharpen them up, help them say anything back that needs replacement, that sort of thing. It's free for them. I'm in and out before they know it. So if they have Cutco, great. I don't need to do the boring presentation anymore. They know what's great about it. I'll just review their guarantee with them and show them some of the new stuff, and we'll make a wish list of things that they like. If they want to get anything, great. If not, no big deal. They'll continue to introduce me to more nice people like them. That's the mindset. Cool. So if they're like, all my friends have Cutco, that's what I would say. And I only call people who I've been personally recommended to. So what I need for you to do while I clean up is to jot down 2 to 300 people who might be nice enough to help me out. I say it just like that. I don't say 2 to 300. I'm like 2 to 300. You know what I mean? And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, just kidding. Just 30 to 40 will be fine. I'm not necessarily looking for people who would buy. Just people nice like you who might take a look. And just so you know, I have a customer rewards program where when I get 50 sponsors, I do a drawing for all the customers who were a sponsor to win $150 in free Cutco. So all you have to do, by the way, Mrs. Jones, to become a sponsor is just get to that first level at 10. When you get to 20, you're a double sponsor. When you get to 30, you're a triple sponsor, and you get 3 entries into the drawing. So, here's pen and paper. Jot down as many as you can. While I figure out the numbers for your wish list, you can start working on that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. The reason why we want to use it, because let's just say your customers aren't excited about getting the $150 sponsorship. Maybe they're not fired up about that, because you got to get 50 sponsors. That might take you a while, you know what I mean? So maybe they're not fired up about that. But on your rec sheet, you have incentives for every 10 names they jot down. So I'm like, hey, Mrs. Jones, just so you know, as you can see on the as you see on the sheet of paper, there's actually dollar amounts. So every 10 names you jot down personally, I'll give you $50 in free Cutco. So if you fill up the full sheet for me, you'll get $200 in free Cutco. So all the stuff that you saw today that you didn't end up getting, you can actually get that for free. Cool. So so when you get to 10, you get 50, and so on and so forth. So so that's a little incentive as well. Cool. And they're like, okay, great. You know what I'm saying? And then you want to send them the text message. Um, you want to send them the text message that show after you hand them the sheet of paper and you explain that as they're scrolling through their phone to look for their friends' numbers, you are going to let them know that you're going to send them a text message immediately. Immediately. Like right after you hand them the sheet of paper, you're going to send them the text immediately. And you guys all have the text message, correct? Okay. So you're going to say, by the way, Mrs. Jones, I just sent you a text message so you can give your friends a heads up about who I am and if it's okay if I give them a call. That way you keep your friends and I see nice people who want to help me towards my goals. What that means is this, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to send you a text message so you feel comfortable with jotting down your friends and family. I'm sending that immediately. So before they start scrolling through their phones and thinking about how they don't want to recommend their friends, boom. Hey, Mrs. Jones, by the way, I just sent you a text message so you can give your friends a heads up to let them know about who I am and if it's okay if I give them a call. Because those are the two reasons why they don't want to give you Rex. I don't know if my friends are okay with it, and I want to make sure it's okay before I give them the number. Cool. Boom. You said, hey, by the way, I'm thinking ahead of time. I know this is what your concern will be, so boom, here you go. That way you keep your friends, and I see nice people who want to help me towards my goals. So if any of your friends say no, who cares? We'll know now. You know what I'm saying? So make sure when you click on their name to write the number down, you just hit that message button. Yeah, go ahead. Who's the first person you wanted to jot down? Like your sister or something? Yeah, go to your sister's number real quick. You see when you click the number and the number's right there? Yeah, you see the message button there too, right? Yeah, go ahead and click that and paste and send as you go. You see how easy that is? Yeah. It's that way you don't have to do it later and waste time later. You can just get it all done now. So it's super easy, by the way. So yeah, you can just do that as you go. Cool? They're like, okay, great. And I'm sure some of you guys that actually do this, you'll see how their response is and how easy that is. But that's major key. So if we do that, again, mindset is we given them incentive for the sponsorship. We given them incentive for jotting down names for us on top of the sponsorship. So they could personally win that. So when you see their friends and their friends end up getting something, you'll throw that free Cutco on their order. Does that make sense? Or since you're asking for Rex before you show prices and you got a customer that's thinking about getting a set, you could do $200 in free Cutco on that demo. You know what I mean? So maybe you utilize, hey, you jot down, you give me a full sheet, I'll give you a full $200 in free Cutco. Maybe, maybe instead of just giving them shears for free with the set, you say, hey, if you get a full sheet, I'll throw in this, Fisherman Solution as well. So something to think about, right? So you can leverage Rex to close a sale while you're there if you're asking for Rex before you show prices. So food for thought. If not, you can't do that. They got a small order, then you'll just put it on their friend's order. Does that make sense? And obviously we're going to qualify our leads. We're going to We're going to verify everyone's texted. That's why the rec sheet has a texted box on there, right? It has a texted box there. We want to find their area, a fun fact about them. That way, when we're using the phone approach, right, one of the things it says, what's a fun fact? Use that opportunity to connect with them. How are you doing today? By the way, I was over to see Mary, and she mentioned, that you love cats. You have 4 of them, whatever. Like, find fun fact. What's one cool thing about everybody? That way, when I chat with them on the phone, I have something to bring up outside of why I'm calling. Best time to call them, best time to see them. That's super key, right? So we want to find that information out. We want to find out, hey, if you were me, here's a couple things we want to start identifying on our appointments. If you were me, if you had to identify your top 5, whether they would love Cutco or they can introduce them to a lot of people, who are those people? All right, cool. Are they someone that would love Cutco or knows a lot of people, or both? Okay, both. He loves Cutco, knows a lot of people. All right, perfect. Identify those, right? If you were me, by the way, and they saw like one of the family sets, I don't know if you have any friends that you jot down, like if they saw the family set and they really liked it, they wouldn't think twice about getting it. Do you have any did you jot anyone down like that? Oh, you did? Who? This person, this person, this person? All right, cool. Cool. Awesome. You texted them, right? All right, awesome. Did any of those respond, by the way? No? Okay. When they do, make sure you let me know, all right? By the way, I didn't tell you. I forgot to mention this, Mrs. Jones. Did I tell you about my customer appreciation bonus? After you qualify, you're going to tell them about the customer appreciation bonus. And you're going to say, hey, Mrs. Jones, just so you know, as I see your friends, I'm planning on reaching out to them on Sunday. Today's Friday. You might call them on Sunday for your all-day call day, right? So I'm planning on reaching out to all your friends on Sunday. And as I set them up, there's a customer appreciation bonus that I give to my customers for helping me see their friends. And it looks like this. If you don't have this sheet printed out, you want to make sure you have this sheet printed out, because this will help you complete appointments with their friends. So we gave them an incentive to write down a ton of names through the sponsorship. They're not excited about the sponsorship. It's okay. We have a secondary incentive for them to get free Cutco while you're there or once you see their friends. Now we want to give them an incentive to keep us updated on the people that they're recommending to us and that they've texted. We want them to keep us updated, so we don't have to keep asking them and asking them and asking them and asking them, hey, has anyone else followed up? Hey, has anyone else followed up? Hey, has anyone else followed up? The way to eliminate the need to do that is by creating the Customer Appreciation Rewards Program. So as your friends respond to the text, let me know. I will set them up for appointments. I'm planning on calling them on Sunday anyways. But if anyone responds between now and then, let me know. As I set them up, you get $100 in free Cutco. Just so you know, I have about 7 more openings in my schedule for the next few days. So if I set up 5 of your friends in the next few days, you get $100 in free Cutco. Once I see them, I'll put that on their order and you'll get your free Cutco. Once I see 10 of your friends, you get $200 in free Cutco. Mrs. Jones, I'm trying to do 60 in the next 2 weeks. I'm trying to do 40 in the next 2 weeks. So once I see 10 of your friends in the next 2 weeks, you get $200 in free Cutco. You know what I mean? So that stuff you wanted to wait until August or November or December to get, you can get that this week if you want. You know what I mean? So just keep me updated as people respond. And if you talk to anybody that is down to see a demo, let me know. I'll be down to see them, and you get free Cutco. Does that sound like a win? Does that sound like a win? All right, cool. High five. We're on the same team together. You know what I mean? So you can pick out anything you want. All right? If I see 20 of your friends, you get 15 of your friends, you get $300 in free Cutco. So, by the way, what are the next couple things you want to get off your wish list? All right, perfect. Yeah, all right, cool. I'll write that down so when I see them, I'll throw that on their order. No big deal. Cool. All right, awesome. Thank you for seeing me today, right? And then you're off about your business, right? But they got you. They're excited about getting free Cutco for writing down a ton of names for you. They're excited about getting free Cutco because as their friends respond, that is automatic yeses, which means you can automatically set their friends for appointments, which means they get free Cutco because of it. It's a win-win. So they'll be texting you, hey, Mary responded. She's excited about seeing that. Hey, Boom has responded, right? And you're telling them, as I see your friends and they get something, you'll get free Cutco. So what are they going to want to do? Recommend you to people that will get something so they can get their free Cutco. You got free Cutco because of that. Now here's your opportunity to win free Cutco for actually helping me see them. But but listen, you did the work already to know the best time to call them, when would be the best time to see them. So you're setting yourself up to actually see them. That way, what you're telling them is going to actually happen. Because you know when's the best time to call them, when's the best time to see them, and then you're like, oh, by the way, they're texted already. Like you put them in position to win it already. It's just a matter of when you'll see them. And they're like, oh, so I'm actually going to get this. So it's not like, oh, okay, you're just blowing smoke. No, like we did everything to put ourselves in a position. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you gained some value from this that can help you grow your business. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. For more information on coaching, you can visit excellentbusinessgroup.com/coachme and learn more information on what it takes to be the next Excellent Group superstar. For more information, go ahead and check out the website. Have a great day.